Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and this reading is going to be for Pisces for the next 4 to 6 weeks. At the bottom of the deck, we have got the Nine of Wands. This is sometimes known as the Wounded Warrior card, and this is probably going to be the theme this next 4 to 6 weeks, is that you are feeling hurt. Potentially some of you actually might not be feeling terribly well. Perhaps you're unwell or injured in some way. But you are feeling hurt, I think, about something, like you've had enough and you can't wait to put a situation behind you. That's what it feels like. I might just take a clarifier for that. Why do we have the Nine of Wands for the sign of Pisces? Oh, potentially you've got a difficult choice ahead of you, or even a new love affair, perhaps. Could be about love. The Lovers card doesn't often really talk about love. It normally talks about a choice. It's also guided. There's an angel here at the top there. Actually, what's interesting is, well, maybe you've got a difficult choice to make, a choice that actually hurts, a painful choice to make. What's interesting in the past position is we've got the Devil. Now, these two cards are pretty similar. They both have a naked couple on. The energies are different. The Devil talks of obsession and can be Capricorn. The Lovers talks of choice and making the right choice and how to choose. And it's sort of choosing right from wrong in a way. And it's guided. So actually, if you're in tune with any guides, I would, or if you feel recently that you've been trying to be in tune, or you've been receiving some information that isn't quite normal for you, I would tune into that, because I think somebody might be trying to tell you something about a choice that is painful, or about a situation that is painful. Okay, interesting. Right, so on the top, what is crowning the situation is death. Now, I've just done a reading for Virgo, and Virgo is your opposite sign. And Virgo had the card for death as well. Now, the reason that I like to do opposite sign readings close together is not because you're going to have the same reading, but there is an element of shared energy between the opposite sides, between the opposite signs. So potentially it might feel like something has died, or it might look like something has died, because this is in the crowning position. This is what is obvious, what everybody can see. It's clear to everybody that the situation that you're in is over. Oh, interesting. What I've just realised I've done is something that I never ever do. I have not started at the centre. Now, there's probably a good reason for that. It's because the energy is being shared with Virgo this month. Anyway, let's go to the actual centre. The situation that is obviously dead or dying, you have been in for 2 years. It feels like you've been in a 2-year cycle, and you should be at the end of it by now. It feels like it should have ended by now. It's time for this cycle to end. Everybody can see that this should have ended, but you're still in it. And what is crossing that situation, what is preventing that situation from moving forward or changing significantly, is a partnership card. So this is the third partnership card that we've got. So potentially, Pisces, this reading could be about partnership and obvious change. Changing a partnership that is obviously not working. Maybe that hasn't been working for 2 years. This is also the twin flame card. So if you are familiar with that, possibly the reason, maybe you've been in a twin flame situation for 2 years and it's not been good for you and it's time for a change, but you can't let it go. That could be an option. It's keeping you hanging on. If you're not familiar with the phrase twin flame, it just means a very strong soul connection that is quite difficult to leave behind. So that could be for some of you. For some of you, I feel like perhaps you're clinging on a bit too tightly to a marriage or a relationship that should or could be over, that should or could have ended in the last 2 years, or by now anyway. It feels like this should have ended by now. It's like it's sort of blown itself out. Just looking at these ships being blown about here. The relationship, if you're in a relationship, has blown itself out, and it's time for that change to come in. But you're struggling to let it go, perhaps. That's what it feels like. I might take a clarifier for that. Why do we have the Four of Wands crossing the central section? It's a feeling like you haven't got what you want. I wonder if perhaps you thought the partnership that you're currently in would make you happy, and it's not. And you should change it, and you haven't. Possibly because you're still waiting for it to come good. That's one option. The other option is that you might just not want to change it, even though it's not good for you. And even though potentially other people have been pointing out for you, you would be better off without the situation you're in. I don't think you don't want to change it, is what it feels like. That's why you've been in this loop for 2 years. What's underneath? This is what is not obvious, or what is not clear. We have the Eight of Cups. This is, well, actually it's now. This is the 8th month, and we've got a very big, powerful full moon tonight, which I'm drawn to up there. It feels to me like you know you should leave, but you're not doing it. So if there is a big change to be made that other people can see, and you know about it, you definitely do know about it, but you're not doing it yet. Maybe you're waiting for a particular time. This is for the next 4 to 6 weeks, so we'll see about that. What's clarifying that is the Page of Swords. That's communication, text and email. And the 10 of Coins, happy ever after. You know, the full happy ever after. House, money, family. I think maybe a marriage is breaking up here. I think somebody knows that they need to leave this marriage. That's what it feels like. I don't think you can, because there's an obsessive energy here. Obsessive feeling of clinging on to something, even though it's not good for you, even though you can tell it's not good for you, you're still not over it. Well, and I suppose that's because of the way the connection itself is, because these are 3 big cards of connection. We read them together. That's the Lovers, the Twin Flame card, and the Devil. These are all strong chemistry cards. I think maybe in the past the chemistry was just really overwhelming, and you thought it was love, and now you're clinging on to it, but maybe now you're thinking it's not love. Perhaps it was a false love. Or maybe even a false twin flame. Perhaps it wasn't really a twin flame at all. You thought it was. Maybe it had the hallmarks of twin flame. You know, a big age gap or a big change, difference in dynamic, not your usual type. Maybe it looked like a twin flame situation. No, I don't think it was. And I think it should have ended. Yeah, it should have ended. I'm sorry, Pisces. It should have ended, because in the future, this is the card of being happily single. That's in the future position. And I mean it. This is the card of being happily single. This person is happy about being single. But if that's the case, why are you stopping yourself from getting to that? Yes. Yeah, I just knew that was coming. Clinging on too tightly to the past or to a situation that doesn't serve you. Out of pride, you don't want to lose face, is what it feels like. I mean, maybe you married in haste and people said to you, oh, it'll never last. And it has lasted, but now it's really, yeah, it should have ended. You don't want to lose face. You also think you don't want to lose money. Maybe it'll be expensive getting to this position of being happily single. I think you will get there, but maybe it's expensive. In the personal position, we've got the Three of Swords. This is heartbreak. So you're already feeling hurt, and now you're feeling heartbroken as well. There is a person who's broken your heart, or a situation that's broken your heart. Oh dear. I'm sorry about that, Pisces. The home position, it's all changing. This sweeping change is coming in. It's going to blow up. The situation at home is not, cannot, will not stay the same. It just will not. So there is no point trying to cling on to it. In fact, in a way, the harder you cling on to the situation you've got, the sort of bigger the explosion is going to be when it happens. You sort of need to let this go. It'll be easier on you if you let it go, whatever it is. Yeah, it could be a family situation, I think, because we've got the happy family card in the underneath position, and we've got the Tower blowing up the family, which is blowing up the position of family. Oh dear. In hopes and fears position, we have the Empress. This is great. This is really, really good progress, actually. So if you are in a situation that is no good for you, that you need to leave and you need to become single, the natural progression from being the Nine of Pentacles is the Empress. So this is great. You are going to it's actually going to benefit you from being single. I think financially you might benefit from being single. But it's also going to make you feel quite a lot better. Things will improve a lot for you in your own energy. I mean, if things are blowing up at home, the Tower is quite destructive, and there's nothing much you can do about that, because as we've already said, the change is sweeping through anyway. But I think you're going to be okay. It seems to me that you're going to be almost more than okay. The outcome, we have the Hanged Man. So this is really biding your time, waiting, gaining knowledge, trying to work out what to do for the best. Now, I'm not saying that you're working out what to do for the best for everybody, but it does seem to me that you are thinking about other people, because we've got the Five of Pentacles, which is the card of lack and loss, and we have the Three of Cups, which is the card of joy and happiness. So as a combination, that's quite interesting. I think you're trying to be fair, trying to work out what's going to be fairest for the other people involved. But as an outcome, you're gaining wisdom on a situation that no longer serves you and does not work for you. It just doesn't even feel right for you. It's sort of, you feel left out of the situation is what it feels like. So you're gaining wisdom on a situation that you feel left out of. And whilst you're gaining the wisdom, you're actually becoming happier. So the outcome is that having a period of time on your own to reflect and absorb and pause and work out what it is, to sort of lick your wounds and heal from the hurt and actually get this thing moving along forward. That period of time is really beneficial, and you need it, and it's going to give you the best outcome. So if you haven't been thinking hard about what to do to improve the future, I would urge you to start that thinking now, because this is for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And potentially if you get on with trying to work it out now, then you will be happy sooner. You will be happy by October. That's what I think. It's not going to come without upheaval. You've got upheaval, you've got heartbreak, you've got hurt, you've got pride, you've got not getting what you want. But ultimately, you have the card of victory. So it's important to gather as much information quietly together as you can for yourself. It's also important to sit in your best feminine energy. Now, if you're a masculine watching this, that might seem a little bit strange. But what I mean really is allow your intuition and your feelings to take charge rather than your pride, which we have here. Allowing your pride to take hold is not going to get you where you need to do. Do what is best for everyone in this situation. Think like a woman, I suppose. Make the best choice for everybody, and that is going to ultimately bring you victory. So actually, if you've been in a situation where really you haven't been thinking like that, you've been thinking mostly about yourself, I would urge you to try and consider the other people, because we've got a lot of other people here to think about. And thinking about what's best for the other people in your life and being kind about what's best for them is actually going to bring you the best outcome overall, and ultimately victory over this situation. So you can turn this whole thing around, Pisces. It started off looking a bit like you were in a gloomy situation, but it's only pride that is keeping you in this situation, and it's time to move that on. You've got sweeping change coming, and it's time to get that moving. Well, I hope you enjoyed this reading, Pisces. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily, which will help me do more accurate readings for you in the future. If you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. And until next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.